All right. So, how are we going to put fat loss on easy mode in 2025? I truly believe that the past 10 years have been just truly groundbreaking for fitness. There's just been such an advancement in what we know works and what we know doesn't work. So, today I want to talk about how I believe anybody, especially my guys over 40, heck, even guys in their 50s, can get ripped and get in shape permanently in 2025. There's just way too many ways now of optimization, making things streamlined, having systems for your day to day lifestyle. It just makes fat loss, man, 100 times easier than it was when I was 65 pounds overweight back in the early 2000s. And I was struggling to like figure out this whole thing called fitness. Um, the game has changed completely. All right. So here's what we got. First and foremost, I know the word easy can feel like a scam, right? Like, oh, nothing good in life is easy. Well, when I start to compare it to other things in my life that I've done, let me break it down. Like having a healthy marriage, way harder than getting ripped. Having a beautiful family, way harder than getting ripped. Building a successful business online, way harder than getting ripped. Doing hard challenges like High Rocks or DecaFit or Spartans, way harder than getting ripped. Okay. So I'm not saying easy, meaning it's, easy like pouring a glass of water, but it's going to be a lot easier than things you've probably done in your life. So, how does this all work? What do we need to do? Well, let's just start with the fact that you need a daily system, a daily checklist, if you will. This is what we do for our clients inside of our coaching program. We call it the First Class Transformation System here at TT, True Transformation, that is. We got to have a checklist. So let's build out a easy mode checklist for 2025. So first things first, we got to get optimized. Now that's another buzzword that's going around the industry, getting fully optimized, getting, TRT, getting GH, all these hormonal benefits, these peptides, all this stuff, right? Some of that might be beneficial for you. Some of it might not. I'm not a doctor. I'm here to tell you to go get on a bunch of hormones or anything like that yet, because we don't know if you need it or not, right? But what I do know is that you need to know what's going on underneath the hood, meaning what's going on internally, that your body, might or might not be fighting against itself to get to where you want to be from a physical standpoint. Easy way to understand where you are under the hood is go get a full panel blood work done. You should be doing this at least once or twice a year. My suggestion is at least twice a year. Now, if you're dealing with major health problems, you might need to do this more often. But if you don't know where you're starting from internally, you could be fighting against your own body currently, right? Second thing is metabolism. We got to get your metabolism fully optimized, right? A lot of people are coming into this metabolically broken. So they're starting the year off trying to lose weight. They cut all their carbs. They start doing tons of cardio. They go to the gym. They hire a trainer. And little do they know their metabolic health is shot. So we got to get your metabolism to a place where it's fully rocking and rolling. All right, that's the second thing. We need to know what your cardiovascular health looks like. I'd bet a lot of money that most of you have never had a cardiovascular test done properly. So we need to get that set up. And then from a data standpoint, we want to know exactly where you're starting from, body fat wise, muscle mass wise, bone density, where you're carrying body fat. We don't want to play the guessing game, and we definitely don't want to go do a highly inaccurate test that is only going to frustrate you because it tells you data that just flat out is wrong. Okay? Meaning, you go do one of those handheld body fat tests, where you hold the little handles and it tells you what your body fat percentage is. And it tells you you're at, 13% body fat. And you're like, oh, cool, I'm not that far off. And really you're at 25% body fat. And you are relatively far off from being super lean. You need to know real data. So don't be afraid of real data. Those are the tests that we need to start with. Now, As we get deeper into things, there'll be more advanced testing that we can get done, like genetic testing, heart health testing. But just to kick things off, that's where we want to start. We want to know, where are you lacking in terms of optimization? Now, in terms of building an easy checklist, there's only 3 buckets that we got to hit every day. And if you're watching live, I highly suggest you take some notes here, because this is going to make your life a whole heck of a lot easier. Now, inside of our first class coaching system, we build out a customized approach for you using these 3 pillars. So I'm not gatekeeping anything here. I'm not telling you anything, or I'm not holding anything back. The only thing that would be held back is what customizations need to be made, because I don't know your situation, right? But we can obviously fix that. Most people don't pay for information anyway. They pay for accountability. They pay for a community of winners, a network, and just, to save time. So anyway, let's talk about the 3 bucket checklist. Okay. And if you're watching here, just, comment the word 3 bucket checklist, the words 3 bucket checklist. That way I know you're listening, and we can help you out even more. All right. So bucket number 1 to make fat loss on easy mode in 2025 is movement. All right. Movement is the first bucket. Movement is not going for a run every day. Movement is not spending hours and hours and hours on some kind of piece of cardio equipment like the Peloton. Movement is not, having to get up and do fasted cardio for an hour every morning. Now, could you do all those things? For sure. If that's what floats your boat, if that's what fits your lifestyle, if that's the system you need, going back to the customization stuff that I mentioned, some of that might fit into your lifestyle. Some of it might be enjoyable for you. For a lot of you, it's not enjoyable. So we may need to do things differently. My suggestion for most of you is to embrace a walking based movement lifestyle. Okay. Meaning we just need to simply use our 2 legs. We simply need to get off our butts and go for more frequent little walks throughout the day. We need to track how much we move every day. And this will eliminate the need for crazy amounts of cardio. Okay. Crazy amounts of cardio that honestly just take up time that you could be doing other positive, productive things. You're stuck on the Peloton. There's not much you can do while you're stuck on the Peloton, right? But if you're going for a walk, man, you can multitask. You can listen to a podcast. You can be on a meeting. You can go for a walk with someone that you're having a meeting with. Highly suggest you do that. Date night now could include walking. Like me and my wife, we may go out to eat or something. Then we're going to go walk around afterwards, check out some stores, go to a little spot where there's some cool scenery, walk around, get some steps in, burn some calories, right? Go for a walk when you need to be productive. Take your dogs for an extra walk. Take your kids for a walk. Like, walking needs to become a centerpiece of your lifestyle. Okay. Huge. So every day we need to have a movement target. All right. A movement target is going to keep us from overthinking things. Oh, should I be doing cardio? Oh, should I be, getting my heart rate up to a certain point? Listen, all that's going to just complicate things. Just hit a movement target every single day. That's bucket number 1. Bucket number 2 that we're going to put on easy mode is muscle. All right. This is where we have to schedule time to go work out. Now, some of you could work out at home. Some of you could work out in the gym. There's no right or wrong here. What's going to be right is what you can sustain. Personally, the number 1 mistake I see most people making with training is they're not setting up their actual training program properly. They go in the gym and they're doing, all sorts of random exercises for high reps, resting very little between sets, not getting stronger. Huge mistake. We want to get strong, okay? If there's a word to use as a theme for 2025, it would be strong. Get strong with your training. This does not mean be a power lifter. You don't need to do crazy heavy deadlifts, crazy heavy squats, crazy heavy barbell bench press. Those things could be counterproductive, actually. It could hurt you. You could find yourself with a busted up shoulder, knees, back, all sorts of stuff. So we want to do things safely. And I highly, highly, highly recommend training on machines. Most of my guys in their 40s and 50s train predominantly using machines dumbbells, cables, body weight. Okay. We don't do a crazy amount of barbell work, even though we do some. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we alienate ourselves from the barbell, but we do things from a safety first standpoint. Okay. Safety first standpoint. So, how many days a week do we need to hit muscle? I would start with 2 if that's all you can manage, 2 to 3. Once you master 2 to 3, maybe you stay there. Maybe you go to 4. Once again, this is where the customization comes into play. I don't care about how many days a week you train, as long as you are consistent. We want to make time for this because muscle does so many things that influences our metabolism. Like I said in the early part of today's video here is in today's, you might be listening to this on the podcast, wherever you're listening. True Transformation Podcast, by the way. If you're not subscribed, go check it out. If you're listening, thanks for subscribing. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you say what's up. If you're watching on another social platform, appreciate you, by the way. Just say what's up. Let me know you're watching, where you're watching, what you're listening to. Love to interact with all of you. Here's the thing. Fat loss and muscle go hand in hand, but we're not going to go in the gym and burn a boatload of calories in our muscle sessions. Get that out of your mind right now. We're going to the gym. We're in and out. 45 minutes, 35 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Getting strong. All right. 2 to 3 sets per exercise, 3 to 4 exercises, in and out. Strength and time under tension. Okay. And making sure we have mind-muscle connection, safe training, but getting progressively stronger over time. All right. The body's going to respond to that stress by building muscle. Okay. Worst case scenario, and I mean worst case scenario, you're going to hold on to the muscle that you have, and you're going to look tighter and more defined as you get leaner. Okay. That's the second checklist. So not every day is going to be muscle. You might look at your checklist one day and go, oh, all I'm doing today is meals, which we'll talk about next, and movement. Cool. Easy. I told you this is going to be easy. All right. I haven't even got to the easiest part yet, which is the nutrition. Everybody wants to call that the hard part, the complicated part. Oh my gosh, it sucks. Let me teach you the easy ways. All right. Okay. Muscle is pillar number 2, checklist box number 2. Not every day, 3 to 4 days a week at most for most guys in their 40s with families who have busy, demanding careers, who want to lead their family using health and fitness. I'm not here to tell you, I'm here one of those fake alpha tough guys who are going to scream at you on the beach somewhere and tell you, you gotta relieve your trauma, and like talking through, out of their anus about things they have no idea about. Because just look at how they operate themselves. I'm here to tell you, like, you are a beast. You're a savage. I believe in you. I've seen so many people come in my program who, on the surface, when they start, they're just down. They feel bad about themselves. They've been told that they suck, that because they're fat or overweight, that they're useless and they're a bad parent or whatever, right? I'm not here to tell you. I'm here to wake you up. Like, I'm here to tell you, like, dude, I see you. I see greatness in you, okay? And part of why this stuff needs to be easy and simple is because life's complicated enough, man. Being a dad's hard enough. Being a good, godly dude is hard enough. Staying married in a healthy marriage where both people feel appreciated and loved every single day takes a lot more work than getting ripped. All right. So I'm not here to make your life crazy complicated. I'm here to make fitness the nice, enjoyable, happy background noise that is the foundation in your life. And I want to inspire you to join a community of winners to get you out of the negativity. Like, if you're a hater online and you're commenting online and like you're just pissed off all the time, well, I'm not here to battle with you. I'm just here to invite you to do some better stuff. All right. Like, man, life is way too short to be overweight and out of shape. Life moves fast. Let's make it count. Okay. So I'm just here to inspire you. And for some of you, you might tell me to kick rocks. You hate me. What do I know? Awesome. Like, cool, dude. I know probably very little in the grand scheme of things because nobody knows a lot in this world. There's so many unknowns. But I do know that I was 65 pounds overweight. Fixed that. Never going back. Been under 15% body fat now for the better part of 10 years. At times I dip below 10% for photos and stuff, but most of the time I'm like 12 to 15%, super ripped, super lean, super happy. What else do I know? Well, I've helped over 7,000 guys with families and successful careers take their life to the next level because life moves fast. So I help them make it count. That's it. That's what I do. It's what our team does. I'm not just a one-man band here. We have a team of savages who are just absolutely invested in your success. Plus, we have hundreds of clients in our program currently who will also invest in your success. Every new client that comes in gets paired up with a previously successful client. It's just one of our secrets. So it works. Okay. Anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about the last button that we got to push every day, the checklist box that we got to check. And that is meals. All right. Now, before you get bent out of shape and you think, oh man, he's going to tell me to cut my carbs. He's going to tell me to eat 6 meals a day. He's going to tell me I can't eat at night. He's going to tell me to fast 16 hours a day. I'm not going to tell you any of that. All you need to do is get on what's called our meal rotation system. This is where we curate a list of meals that can be eaten out at restaurants, that can be prepped at home if that's your thing. You don't need to meal prep. You can order these meals online. You can have someone create these meals for you. Your family might enjoy these meals, probably will enjoy these meals. So they're bought in too. Meals that can be made in the air fryer, meals that can be just put together in like less than 2 minutes, or meals that don't require any prep at all that you can just pick up at the store or pick up or have delivered to you, in your hotel if you're traveling, or meals you can get in the airport. Like, all I'm telling you here is these are meals based off your specific needs. Now, these meals are magical. Why are they magical? Because they add up to 2 very important things. They get you in your calorie range. Okay, we call it the calorie range. We're not talking a very specific number. We're talking about a range you need to live in to lose fat consistently. Sometimes we're on the aggressive side of that range. Sometimes we're on the sustainable side of that range. It will depend on how you feel. The other thing we got to hit is your protein range. Calorie range, protein range. I'm not going to tell you to go out and invest in tubs of protein to hit some crazy high protein number. That is old news. We don't do that. Okay, we don't do that. What we do is we find the range that you can live in that's going to get you results. And the meals that we create, you don't need to track, you don't need to measure. They're already set. So all you got to do is eat them. The portions are told ahead of time. So you're like, okay, that's what this meal should look like. Great, this is the portions that I need. Now, do we avoid education? Do we tell you how to understand calories, how to understand macros? Of course we do. Like, we do live in the real world and we do appreciate the science behind things. So we're not going to avoid the truth. We want to teach you those things, but I'm here to buy back your time. I don't want you spending hours weighing food, hours meal prepping 17 meals a day or whatever it is, right? Most of our clients, it's going to sound crazy, they eat 3 meals a day and a snack. Most people. Now, sometimes you change that to 3 meals a day and a dessert, 2 big meals a day, 2 small meals a day. Like, there's ways to completely customize this, but you're not going to be eating around the clock because you don't want to or need to. You're not going to have to take 17 meals in Tupperware to work every week. You're not going to need to spend your entire Sunday meal prepping unless that's what you want to do. Okay. And I'm here to teach you how to do what you want to do. But I think what most people make a mistake with is thinking they want to do something, realize it's not sustainable, and then they no longer want to do it. And then they forget that there's other options and they just give up. So our mission with meals and nutrition is to find this meal rotation, calorie range, protein range that you truly enjoy. You wake up and go, man, I can't believe I get to eat like this and still get ripped. Okay. That's my ultimate mission for you. When you wake up in the morning, can you see yourself sustaining a plan like this for the rest of your life? If the answer is yes, man, we're winning. We are absolutely winning. Okay. And then our job is rocking and rolling. Then we're just there to keep you on track. Okay. Now, last thing I'll say before we wrap up here is, what are the additional secrets to making fat loss on easy mode? Well, we already talked about optimization in the beginning. That one piece is where a lot of guys, as we get older, completely miss the boat. But what else do we need? Like, what do we truthfully need in our lives? I think there's two things. I think we need a combination of coaching and community. Okay. Coaching is where you get the directions and the accountability. So here's what to do exactly. Now let's hold you accountable to that. Okay. Why is community the secret sauce, though, along with that? Well, I believe that when you see other people winning around you all the time, that's going to raise your standards up. Because the last thing you want is to be in an area where everybody's winning and you're not. So you have two choices, right? Two choices are, I want to win like them, so I'm going to do the work, or I don't. So I'm just going to leave the group. But here's the beautiful part. When you have a community that actually wants to see you win more than they care about winning themselves, which I truly believe, and I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've heard hundreds of testimonials at this point from our community. This is the secret, okay? This is the secret where you're going to have an opportunity to have people in your corner who are cheering you on, celebrating your success, picking you up when you have temporary moments of failure to get you back on your feet. All right. This is what makes things faster and easier. You guys are all looking for the secrets in all parts of your life. I get it. Like, I want to be a better dad. What's the secret? I want to be, multimillionaire. What's the secret? I want to own 20 houses. What's the secret? Right. Well, the secret really is downloading successful advice and direction from other people who have already been there, done that, and can tell you what to do and can tell you what not to do. And then when they start to see you slip, they go, hold on. I'm not going to leave you behind. Let me help you up the mountain here. All right. Then you have the coach in your corner who's like, hey, do this tactical stuff. Skip this, do this, move this around here, right? So you don't have to think. This is where we talk about buying back your time, because you don't have to do any of the thinking or the planning or the strategy. Like, that's all done for you. All you got to do is execute, which I know that does require effort, but it's not going to feel like this enormous laborious effort anymore when you have all these things mapped out. All right. So in 2025, I believe if you want it, if you want to make your life better, well, this is how we do it, right? Life is too short to spend the time that you have being unhealthy, overweight, and feeling bad about yourself. You don't have to do that. You're a rock star. You just got to tweak a couple things. And next thing you know, you're going to be the guy on the beach who everyone's like, man, how do you do it? How do you stay in shape? Being who you are, being this busy father, this busy person, like, or whoever you are. If you're busy and you're just like, man, I'm crushing my career, but yeah, my body is slipping. It doesn't have to be that way. I promise. I'm living proof. Like, I run a very busy day to day. I'm making all sorts of content. I'm building programs. I'm working with my team. I have my two boys who I coach in sports. Like, I'm not this guy who just sits in the gym and does bench press all day, and eats chicken raw and whatever the heck else you think fitness dudes do, right? Like, that's just not reality. What's reality is my day to day is probably very similar to yours, with just a few tweaks that keep me from having too much body fat, feeling low energy. And listen, I'm just like you too, though. I do have moments where I have many moments actually where low energy creeps in. Don't feel like doing what I got to do. And we have mindset strategies for that. Cheat codes, if you will, mindset cheat codes to get your mind back on track. Happy to share those with you inside the program, which is your next step. Let's just book a 15-minute discovery call. Doesn't have to be anything strenuous or crazy. If you go to the links in the description where you're watching this, you'll be able to find next steps. You can always reach out to me directly wherever you're watching or listening. Just take the next step. Let's just see if we can help. No pressure. Hate pressure sales. We don't do that. It's just a no risk obligation of, hey, here's a free 15-minute chat. Let's see what's going on in your world. Can we match up and help you? Here's how we do things. Does the investment make sense? Cool. Then we rock and roll, man. And we have hundreds of people that will vouch for our systems. We've worked with thousands of people over the past 15 plus years. So I don't need to beat that into your head anymore. It's there for you if you want to look at it, take us up on it, and let's get you a part of a winning team in 2025. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate you watching. Hope this one helped. Life moves fast. Make it count. Life is way too short to be overweight, unhappy, and out of shape. Let's go make a true transformation today. Talk to you soon. Peace.